In today's video, I'm going to show you how focusing on income generating tasks can revolutionize your productivity and skyrocket your earnings. Understanding and prioritizing the income producing tasks that we're going to talk about today isn't just about working harder, it's more so about working smarter. And this focus prevents you from getting distracted and bogged down by the non-essential tasks that will come your way and that don't directly contribute to your bottom line. And the power of that means that you can create a life of success, but also freedom. If you're new to the channel, my name is James Eardley, and I've built and scaled my e-commerce businesses to over 7 figures. And this has enabled me time and financial freedom. And with these videos, I want you to achieve the same success. Firstly, let's talk about what an income producing task actually is. And the clue is in the name. It's a task that is directly correlated to the income that you generate. And the first problem with income generating tasks that I see is that people don't spend enough time prioritizing them, and people get very easily distracted and pulled away by tasks that aren't making a difference to your bottom line. And it's so easy. There really is a trap out there, and it's so easy to get trapped into the non-essential tasks that will look like essential tasks, and they'll look like really important for you. So for example, if you're setting up an e-commerce business like what I have done, a good example of a non-essential task that feels essential and it will take you away from income producing tasks is setting up a social media presence for your e-commerce business. Now, of course, it's important to set one up, but don't spend lots of time posting daily, 3 stories a day, 3 posts a day to your social media when you have a business to run, because the likes and the followers on a social media channel is not going to pay the bills. And that is not income producing tasks. But it is difficult not to fall into that, because you'll look at all the different jobs that you can do with the business or whatever goals that you have, and there will be 10 or 20, 30 different options of how you can spend your day. And they all feel significant in their own right. So for example, with my e-commerce businesses, when I wake up in the morning, I can look at my inbox or look at my Slack channels, and there will be things in there that can pull me in different directions. There's lots of different options that I can, lots of different routes that I can take when I start a day. For example, I might be pulled in one direction by a supplier to have a call with them and discuss how we can take the business to the next level with that supplier. I might also have the ad campaign to look at to optimize that campaign. I might also have the social media posts that my virtual assistants have created to look at and double check that they're okay. I might also be able to jump into the website and find out how we can improve or improve the website. There's all these different tasks that you can pull you in all these different directions, and that's just a handful. But what you need to do at the start of each day is to look at those tasks that you could possibly be doing, and before you do anything, highlight, put a big circle around it, green highlighter, what is the task that really makes the difference to the business? What is the task that you do that you know actually pays the bills? So for an e-commerce business, what really pays the bills is getting customers onto your site and getting them to convert. So your marketing campaign is the critical thing really for you once you've got your business up and running. And you can really break it down into, okay, now with knowing that is the income producing task, I'll make sure that that is my focus. And the other tasks that I talked about as possibilities that I could do with my day need to come below that in the order of priority, and therefore need to be completed later in the day. I like this framework that I learned, and it's called the 4 Ds, and it really helps you to look at your tasks that you could possibly do, and before you take any action, you take some time to recognize the fluff, and you take some time to recognize the income producing tasks so you can prioritize your day effectively. So you look at your to-do list and you apply the 4 Ds to that list. So those 4 Ds are defer, delete, do, or delegate. Okay, so you need to apply those 4 things to every single task on your list, and you do it in a certain order. Now, the first one that you need to look at is delete. Before you do anything else, is delete. You need to go through that list, and are there any tasks that you've given yourself on that day that you really don't need to do because they're a distraction? And the way you decide whether you need to do them or not is, are they going to harm your business if you don't do them, or are they purely just a distraction? So delete those unessential, unnecessary tasks. Perhaps you've made it your mission with an e-commerce business to post 4 times a day. And I know for a fact you don't need to do that to build and generate a successful business. Okay, there might be some exceptions to that rule, but the point remains, if you're trying to do something like that, the best thing you can possibly do, instead of the other options, is to delete it off the bat and realize that your time and your team's time is better spent elsewhere. Okay, once you've deleted all of the tasks that aren't essential, the other 3 Ds, the next one to do is to defer. And that means you will defer the tasks that you know need to be done at some point, but they are not urgent. There's no time urgency surrounding that task. And defer just purely means I'm going to put that off because that isn't important to do right now. Then you'll be stuck with 2 tasks. So you'll have deleted the ones that are unimportant and you'll have deferred the ones that aren't urgent. So then you'll have the last 2 Ds to apply to this list. The next one is now to delegate. And that means you need to delegate the tasks that don't need to be done by yourself. And that is actually the vast majority of tasks. There will only be a select handful of tasks that only you can do. And be honest with yourself. I know that you'll do them better than anyone else because that's the way we are. But be honest, can other people do that task to 80% of your efficiency? So, for example, with the email campaigns that we send out through my business, I know that I am not the only person that can do that. So I have an option and I can either delegate that to an email agency to create your emails, or you can set up an SOP, a standard operating procedure process for your virtual assistants team to create emails using the method that you use to create emails, and then you can approve those before you sign them off. So you have options of delegating tasks that don't need to be done specifically by the business owner, and that will be the vast majority of tasks left on there. Start thinking about who can do the work for you instead of how you can do it, and that means you can start thinking as a business owner and make sure you're just looking at the most important tasks. Then, when you've delegated those tasks that don't need your direct involvement, you'll be left with a list of tasks that are the income-producing tasks because they are essential, they are making a difference to the business, and they are the tasks that only you can do. So in my example, as an e-commerce business owner, I believe the only task that should really be left for you once you are up and running with a business is purely just optimizing the ad campaign, speaking and signing new suppliers, and maintaining supplier relationships, and looking after your virtual assistants. Other than that, there are millions of different distractions that will pull you in different directions, but if you just focus on the critical few tasks, then you will get more success out of this business than all of the other business owners that are focusing on trying to do as much as they can possibly do in a day. The goal isn't to be busy as a business owner. The goal is to be financially successful. So focus on those income-producing tasks and apply that 4-step criteria. I like to create an image in your head which really illustrates the importance of focusing on income-producing tasks. And you can relate it to the health world. And if you want to lose weight, the real way to actually lose weight would be to be in a calorie deficit. And that is the equivalent in business of focusing on your income-producing tasks. But what so many people do when they're trying to lose weight is they look at the different options around them and they read different articles and they say, actually, what's really important for me today is that I drink 2 glasses or I drink 2 mugs of peppermint tea because that's going to make the difference to me. And we might laugh because we know it's simple that isn't going to be the difference maker for them losing weight if they're not in a calorie deficit. But we do the exact same. It's so easy for us as business owners and entrepreneurs to do the exact same as that in a business sense, where we will focus on something that we think is really going to be making the difference. But actually, we need to be doing the calorie deficit tasks, which is the income producing tasks, which is like actually signing new suppliers, actually optimizing, creating new ad campaigns, and actually managing the teams that you've got. So hopefully I've done a good job of explaining that concept today and you found value in this video. Start to apply that 4D step method to your to-do list and realize how you can really focus on the income producing task and start generating revenue quickly. The biggest difference for me was when I hired a virtual assistant and my revenue tripled within the space of the first 2 months of hiring that virtual assistant, because I was able to delegate so much and I could just focus on the income producing tasks, and the difference it can make for your business and your life is huge if you really take this on board. So that's that for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed. If you are struggling and you're finding it challenging to kickstart your journey out of a 9-to-5 job and into a life that you feel passionate about, then I recommend you click the first link in the description. Don't worry, it's not a paid course. I'm not asking you to pay anything. All that is a gateway into our Freedom Builders community, which is a community we're getting people together, ambitious people that are all looking to improve their lives and find a freedom life for themselves. So if that sounds good, then go ahead and check that out. If it's not for you, if you don't feel like you need that, then go ahead and ignore that. No problem at all. But that is everything for this video. So if you found value in what we've discussed today, then hit that like button. It helps more than you know for the channel, and it lets me know if you enjoyed this video. Also, drop a comment with your thoughts, because that will help to shape the future videos that I create. And hit that subscribe button for more insights on how to empower your journey towards freedom. Your engagement really supports the channel, and it really keeps this community thriving. So thanks to those of you for leaving comments. Remember, you're not just watching a channel, you are joining a movement with this channel. So thanks for being here. And as always, keep pushing forward. I will catch you in the next video. And remember, every step you take is another step towards your freedom. Cheers.